Are your much-loved FAANGs getting pounded in the market? Ms. Market is a cruel mistress these days. It seems like so long ago that new highs were set on a daily basis, as the FAANGs ripped higher. A check of the calendar reveals that the last market high was only about 2 months ago. So much for love, what about trust? Facebook, NAS, FB, has violated the trust we had placed in it by crassly marketing our personal data to third parties. We had largely looked past their providing a conduit to the Russians to meddle in our elections, and were back to bidding FB's stock price up along with the rest of the FAANG group, when this latest news broke. It was too much. A last crushing blow from a partner to whom we had given everything. From our most precious photos, to quick chats with long-lost chums. Pictures of our daughter in her homecoming ball gown. Or, maybe just a shot of the perfect steak we had grilled one afternoon. Whatever it was, the stuff we posted were intimate moments of our lives, meant to be shared only with friends that we had connected with on the FB platform. Source: we feel betrayed by the web app that we have loved since the day it was born. With the announcement last week that while peddling all of this big data, somehow a bunch, like 50mm accounts, of personal info had gone with it. After a week of hemming and hawing, both Big Mark and Big Cheryl have gone on camera and contritely told us they just didn't have the foggiest idea how all that personal stuff had gone with the big data. They each took full responsibility for the breach and apologized profusely. There might have been a crocodile tear in the corner of one of Big Mark's eyes. Now childishly, we just want some alone time, a safe space if you will, to mend our broken hearts, and heal our psyches. It's hard to learn to trust again, after being so cruelly used. But, after the last of our sobs subside, and the sniffles abate, we must blow our noses, and must then return to the business of investing. We are, after all, adults who must fund our retirements with sound investments. Begging the question, where, and in whom can we trust our precious funds? Where in the investing world can we turn for comfort and market cap appreciation, with maybe a nice dividend thrown in for good measure? Source: this chart compares the performance of the Dow 30, the SP 500, and the Nasdaq, where incidentally a lot of those FAANG stocks hang out, against energy-related indexes like the PHLX and the XLE. A quick glance reveals that the last two, the PHLX and the XLE, while down over the period, have been much kinder with their investors' hard-earned money. Have we come to a point where, is maybe, shock horror, Halliburton, HAL, now more trustworthy than good OLFB? A notion that last year would have been laughable. This year, it's a fair question. Seeking Alpha chart by author: it is noteworthy that Big Red held rock solid in a week where the Dow, and virtually every other index, lost ground, while Facebook lost about 15% of its investors' money. I wrote a long article on Halliburton not too long ago. Please give it a read for more info on this shining example of corporate rectitude. It has also managed not to reduce us to tears by violating our privacy, colluding with the Russians, or selling our private moments for corporate gain. Halliburton is a pillar of corporate ethics by comparison with Facebook. So, in the Facebook versus Big Red competition, America's king of FRAC is a clear winner in the trust department. Let's look at another, just for fun. How about Google? In a minute. First, we will again set forth the Daily Drilling Report's energy investment thesis. The Daily Drilling Report's macro energy investment thesis: global demand stays strong, and supply reaches an approximate equilibrium. No big overhangs. No big gaps. All the big cap stuff we're expecting from oil companies is wildly profitable between $60 minus 70 per barrels, where we are now. All we need is a little stability. If you will look at this graph produced by the EIA, you'll see that supply and consumption are nearly in equilibrium. This promotes the stability big oil has been seeking and raises the potential for upward movement in price. Source: swing producers. The Saudis and their OPEC satellite states still control oil prices and have done something over the last year and a half they've never done before: stick to production cuts. And, what a difference it's made. In fact, they are so pleased with the direction oil is taking they plan to extend the cuts into 2019. See what the Saudi oil minister, Al Fallah, said just the other day. We still have some time to go before we bring in